Welcome to the Wandering Stitches Knitting Podcast. This is episode 15, and guess what? My chores are not done, but one look outside my window has got me thinking those chores can definitely wait. It's time to cast on a hat. You'll see me here trying to use the long tail cast on to start my project. And while this is not going to be an instructional video, I will definitely leave you with a tip. If you have experienced the frustration of using the long tail cast on, which I love, but sometimes I find my long tail is not long enough. So I have decided to use a scrap ball of yarn of the same color of the yarn that I'm going to use. I make a slip knot holding the two together, and then from there, I will join the yarn, the working yarn, and the tail yarn, and I can make as many stitches as I need to, that whatever is called for in the pattern, so there is no more running out of a short tail. So I hope that if anything, I can leave you with this amazing tip. In this episode, I've got some projects to update you on my NightShift shawl, the Advent shawl, and I'm super excited about my finished object. It continues the conversation of building color confidence. The child's imagination is a great place for inspiration. I'll continue my discussion of my 3 words to knit by for 2024: colorful, resourceful, and charitable. I'll show you my process of stash busting and organizing small, easy projects that I intend to use for charity purposes. The hats I'm going to make a pile of to donate at the end of the year, either to a school or a homeless shelter. I want to collect the random skeins of yarn that's just collecting dust in my stash and put them to good use. This podcast is more about the creative process as opposed to the knitting trends. So I hope you can gain some inspiration and kind of think about your creative process and what thoughts, stories, and ideas go into your projects. If that's your cup of tea, then sit back with your crafty project and relax, and I hope you enjoy this episode. And thanks again for stopping by my little corner of YouTube. Hello, my name is Jess, and I like to welcome you to my little corner of YouTube. This is where I love to talk about my knitting projects, and occasionally in the summertime I like to go on hikes, and I bring my knitting on my hikes, and I get footage that I will share with you and talk to you about the hikes and share the beautiful scenery here in Maine. As you can see, here in Maine today, it is wintry out there. It's a beautiful winter wonderland, and I love the winter because I'm a knitter and I love to wear warm woolly garments. And I'll tell you about this in just a moment, but first I would like to welcome you. If you are returning, I appreciate you coming back, and if you are new to this channel, I am so grateful for all of the new likes and shares and subscriptions. I super appreciate that, and I just love seeing all the comments, and I do my best to reply to all of them. And I hope that you find inspiration. I hope that you enjoy what you see here, and I hope to continue to inspire you, and together we can go along on this crafting journey and continue to do the things that we love. So thank you so much for being here and sharing your space and time with me. I know that there are so many creators out there, and I feel honored that you have chosen me in this moment to watch what I have to share with you. So without further ado, I will just make some disclaimers. I have a dog, Josie, and 2 cats, Azzy and Cookie, and sometimes, as most pets, they like to be wherever I am, and I have now shut the door so that they can't come in because Josie is insistent on bringing her squeaky toy in here. So you may hear her asking to come in, and I will do my best to ignore it. Because right now she's banished. This is probably the 4th time recording because she just cannot be quiet. So we'll see what we can do here. So let's get to it. What I am wearing is something that I knitted in 2019. This is the Buds and Branches by Carrie, Bostick, Hogue, and I am reminded of a sweater that has been just released by Jessica McDonald, and her, I think it's called the Fletching. And I saw it being featured in another podcast, and I was like, oh, that reminds me of my beautiful sweater that I made in 2019. So here it is. It's a little boxy. I didn't add too much shaping to it. I did not add the bud part, I just did the branches part to it. And I also added a little feature of the color work on the sleeves. So that was not part of the pattern, but I thought it would be kind of cool to do. I knit this with Briggs & Little Sport, and this is Heather Blue, and this is just gray. And I absolutely love this sweater. It is rustic. I do have to wear something underneath. Typically, I have a long sleeve shirt on. Sometimes I can get away with wearing a short sleeve, and once I warm up, it is not too itchy and bothersome, but it is most comfortable when I have a long sleeve on, and it is super warm, and I wear it a lot, and the yarn has not pilled too much. I haven't taken any, I don't know what the word is, but the depiller things to it. I haven't done anything to it. But yeah, I love the Briggs & Little yarn so much, and it is at a decent price point. I have a sweater quantity upstairs waiting for me to figure out what I'm going to do with it. I did intend on making another one of these, but I think I'll draw the line at knitting the same pattern twice. I know there's some knitters out there who will only do it once, but I tend to repeat patterns numerous times, whether it's sweaters, hats. If you've been following along, you've seen that I've made fingerless mitts a bunch of times, and I did in 2020, I was asked to knit this for a friend, which I did, and I knit that one in black and white, or black and silver, and that was with the Valley Yarns Haydenville DK. I'll pop a picture of the Buds and Branches black and white version. And that yarn you could definitely wear right on the skin. It was so soft and warm and light. So I have been given feedback. She loves the sweater. So yeah, I would highly recommend checking out Webs. That's another source of yarn that is, I believe, good quality at a very good price point. And the more you buy, you can get a discount, which will make it even more affordable. We talk about my works in progress. The shawl that I have shown you last time, I made a little bit of progress on it, and you can see it's right there. It is what I call my social knitting. So it is garter stitch, and it is the Mystery 2023 Advent Shawl project that I have been working on. I'm on day 18, and this is a super easy project to bring around. So I've been bringing this to my my knitting gatherings, meetups, whatnot, and so this is day 18, and as you can see, those are really bright colors, and the color scheme is just I have not you've been following around, so you've been seeing this, but these are the new colors, as you can see. This is from the Ruby and Roses Advent Calendar 2023. So there you have it. So that's the progress that I have made. I think the last time I showed you, I was on the red stripe, and then I believe the pink stripe, and I just finished this one while I was watching football yesterday, and I added this on this morning. There you have it. It's hard to show the whole thing on the screen because it is getting pretty massive. So that is that. The other shawl that I have been working on is the NightShift shawl, and I showed this last episode, and I believe I was right here, and this is the progress that I have made. I am using my own color scheme based on my summer garden. I took a picture, and I then collected yarn for the main yarn cruise from last summer and got colors specific to the photograph. And the last episode that I had done, you can see me putting the colors together, and here they are. I did do a little rearranging with the sequence, and this is my current. So as you can see, I picked up a skein that was like fingering, and I just fell in love with these colors, and I just quadrupled them. So I'm holding them quadrupled, and they are being paired with this beautiful green, and this is Jagger spun, and I'm not sure which colorway this is, I'm sorry, but isn't that a beautiful pairing? So that is going to be one section of the NightShift. That is going to be one section of the NightShift shawl, and I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm on the 5th one, and it's just, I'm just beginning the 5th segment, and there is 10 total. So I believe this came out maybe 5 years ago. I think that's when this came out, 2019, I believe. Yes, there are a ton of these made. The shift shawl, the shift sweater, the NightShift cowl. So yes, it's a very popular thing, and I'm very late to the party, but better late than never, I guess. So, and I don't consider myself a trendy knitter, but I figured this was the best way of incorporating all of the colors for my garden. The thing that I'm going to ask you is, what do you do about the curling? Did yours curl? If you made this, did yours curl like this? And will it be fixed with blocking? I know, I'm sorry, I keep moving it all around. But do you see how the edge is curling? Is it just a tension thing? Or is it, I don't know. Let's see. There we go. Now you can really see it. Curling. Will it block out? Will it just sort of figure itself out as I make it? Because I'm just wondering as I knit more and more if it's just gonna, if it's something, because I can, even though I don't want to rip it out now at this point, but I'd rather fix it at this stage in the game than knit the whole thing and realize it's just gonna be a curled up tube. So let me know what you think and what you've experienced with this project. So those are the 2 works in progress. As you could tell in the intro, I cast on a new project, and that is going to be the first hat of my little stockpile of hats. And that is the Robin's Egg Blue hat, and that is a free pattern on Ravelry, and I will link it in the comment box, and it is by Rachel Lufer. I think it's just an adorable little hat, and I am using a Debbie Stoller, the Stitch Nation full O sheep, and this is part of the Red Heart yarn collection. And yeah, I don't remember where I got it. I have had it in my stash for a very long time. I just love that color. So so that's what I did for numerous years. I would find yarn, I like the color, and I would just buy it without any intention or project in mind. So that's what I'm going to be working on this year, is just going through, seeing what I have, and I will see what I can do to either make use of it in a project or donate the yarn that is just sitting there. So I will bring you up to the yarn closet that I have and take you through some of my stash, and let's see if we can find at least 12 balls of yarn that I can turn into hats, and we'll have some warm woolly heads wandering around Maine. So the last thing that I am going to show you is something that I am super excited about and super proud to show you. If you watched last episode, you will know that I had given my friend a blank template. It was just a piece of paper with a hat, and what you do is you have the kid color in the hat and design their hat, and the instructions are they can use as few or as many colors as they like, and the intention is that it will be handed back to a knitter and they will put their design into fruition, into a hat. So I gave that to my friend for her 2 daughters, and I got one back, and it is from Emma, the 6-year-old. So I will show you what Emma designed, and I was just expecting colored stripes or something. I wasn't expecting this, but I was super excited because I saw an opportunity to learn new techniques and to really challenge my color work and to challenge my my design and not go. It really challenged the idea of not going off of a pattern and just totally, I don't know what the word is, off-piste. In the skiing world, we call that off-trail. Okay, are you ready for this hat? I will hold them up side by side. Here's the design. Here's the hat. Isn't that amazing? I am super thrilled with this. So I learned so many different techniques, and thanks to the project that I am currently working on, the mystery shawl, I had the idea of knitting this flat and then picking up and putting the I-cord edging on, and then using the edging to pick up the stitches and knit up. So I knit flat, and then I did a 3-needle bind off to join the band, and I even learned crochet, and luckily this is all floofy fluffy Angora stuff, so you can't really tell how good the crochet stitches are, but I just crocheted along the edge to just kind of give it that cloud look to it. I did some math, and I calculated the number of stitches and the number of the number of hearts that she wanted. I did some color work, and rather than do a 3-color color work scheme, I just did duplicate stitch with the purple to fill in the hearts. I found thread that was laced with sequins, so I held that double. I had some leftover yarn from a previous project that had the Barocco flex or flicker glitter yarn. I then let me turn it around so you can see the beading work here. So I used embroidery thread to just add the sequins and the stars, the embellishments. I then learned how to do like beading, add beads, and the thing that I'm most excited about is the Latvian braid that I learned. I had been seeing this in hats and gloves and mittens, and I just think it is such a cool design feature, and it looks super complicated, but let me tell you, don't be scared of this. Like, just look it up. I will link the YouTube tutorial that I had used to make it. Suzanne Bryan made it super easy, and she had a tutorial of how to do it in the round and in the flat, and I was able to do this with very minimal effort. So even though it looks like wow, the wow factor is pretty high, the actual effort is pretty low. I did not pay attention to the construction because I wasn't following a pattern as far as like how many decreases and increases and whatnot. So the actual construction of the shape of the hat, I will give it a D or a C. I should give it a C because you can still, it's a hat, but it's too big and it kind of has like a weird shape to it. I think it will be too big for her, but she can hopefully, I'll put it on. So she can wear it as like a slouch hat. She can roll it up. I'll have to trim this part here. All right. So I learned how to make a pom-pom. Yeah. And this, if you recognize this part, this is the NightShift slip stitch mosaic pattern. So I was able to figure out how to do the top part. So yeah. Her mom saw it, and she seemed pretty excited about it, and I'm going to wrap this up. I printed out a letter for Emma. I'm going to wrap it in this, put it in a box. I made a letter congratulating Emma on becoming a knitwear designer. And this is something that kind of makes me chuckle pretty, and I'm horrified at the same time, because my friend has one of those AI story generator things, and so I messaged him because I was writing it, and I said, I don't know if this is going to be cool enough or whatever, had enough flair, or I just wanted to, I was really curious to see what the AI would come up with if I said, you know, hey, put in a story that congratulates Emma on becoming a knitwear designer, and that the color work and texture combinations are fashion forward and joyfully fun, and that it will turn heads and she can wear it with confidence. And this is what it came up with. Your design is spectacular, fashion forward, and joyfully fun. The hat you created is a true masterpiece that will turn heads and exude confidence. I am so proud to have brought your vision to life with my knitting skills. Wear this hat with pride and know that it's a statement of your talent and creativity. Keep designing, keep inspiring, and most importantly, keep being you. With love and admiration. So, and I'll sign my name, but the keep designing, keep inspiring, and most importantly, keep being you, that I was like, oh, I wouldn't have come up with that. That was really cool. So, as much as AI completely freaks me out, I will just add this letter into it. But rest assured, everything else in this episode and this podcast channel is 100% human. So now that I've covered my colorful projects, how about we move on to the resourceful part, where I will take you up to my little yarn closet and show you my stash with the intention of finding yarns that I can use to say hello to Azzy. Sorry, lost my train of thought. Hi, buddy. So how about we go up and I will show you how I am going to organize my projects. And I have a shoe organizer that hangs up in a closet, and I thought I could go through my stash, find balls of yarn that has the appropriate amount of yardage for a hat, and just place the balls in the little slots, and it will be an easy go-to place to just pick a project that is quick and easy and organized with a little bit of direction. I turned my guest room closet, it's a walk-in closet, that seemed large enough for a little yarn closet, yarn stash collector. I turned it into what I would call like a dorm room type thing. It reminds me of my college dorm room. And as a child, I used to love hanging out in my closet. I used to outfit it with like Christmas lights and comfy seating and stuff like that. So I'll show you what I did to this walk-in closet. My daughter has her sewing machine in there, so I will every now and then find some projects that she's been working on, and I have my yarn in there. So it is not the neatest, but I'm gonna keep it real. And it's not too messy, but it is not entirely pristine. So I will take you up there and hopefully you will enjoy seeing my process.
Hello, Josie.
Welcome to my craft room. I have gone through my stash and designated just random skeins of yarn that have been long forgotten. So I pulled them out. I don't even have tags for them. These are probably just leftover project balls of yarn. So yeah, so I use them up for hats. I have a couple skeins of the black, so I think that will make a decent number of hats, and we'll see. Some of these hats might have to be stripes, some of them might have to be children's hats, but I have camo, I have leftover piece fleece, Handdyed 220, Hunter Orange, it's always useful in Maine, alpaca. So working through the stash, I have plenty of yarn that can be turned into hats, and these yarns can be taken out of the long forgotten, lost and found. Please leave in the comments, let me know how you rearrange your projects, how you work through your projects, how you manage to stay on track. I like the visual thing where I can come up and say, okay, I want to make a quick hat, and just grab a ball of yarn and cast on. So thanks for following along on my resourceful part of the segment of this episode. I wanted to go back and talk about the colorful part also. I forgot to mention that I had signed up for a color consultation with Created Colorful that I found on Instagram. It was something that my coworker had gone through, and she was able to get a color palette, and I thought it was really interesting, and seeing how I like to knit garments, I feel like I should probably be knitting colors that suit me, and rather than what's just on sale. So I submitted the photos. I realized that I have a very wide range of colors in my wardrobe, but I probably only wear 20% of the colors, and a lot of it is based on a lot of what I grab is just based on what is texturally comfortable for me. So I grab things like sweatshirts and stuff like that, and I would like to incorporate more of my knitwear and just have colors that are more suited to me. So that is my progress as far as the colorful piece, which I think will enrich my experience in the colorful world for 2024. So stay tuned for that. I will post some pictures of the screen. So basically what I did was just take out garments and shawls and whatever color things that ranged from the neutrals all the way to reds, and I grabbed different shades of reds, oranges, yellows, greens, blues, purples, pinks, and browns, and I just held them up to my face and took a selfie in front of the window. So it was bright, but it was snowy today, so it was a nice overcast day, so it wasn't too glaring. And at first I was thinking that initially I thought, well, God, I look terrible in all of these colors, but looking through the pictures, because I'm my own worst critic, but anyways, I was able to go through, and instantly I was able to see which colors were not suited for me. It's the more nuance that I am looking forward to learning, when I get the consultation feedback, as far as what color palette I am, and that will increase my confidence as well. So I encourage you, if you have something like that available to you, and I will leave the link to Created Colorful in the description box. So if you are interested in learning more about this idea of color consultation, there's a great place to start. I know that there are a lot of consultation providers out there, So if you have a friend who's doing it, that is amazing. You just do it in person, but I was able to do it just by submitting photos. So like I said, stay tuned for that feedback, and I'll be excited to share that with you and to see what colors actually I should be wearing. So that's why I've been waiting to knit with this color, because I'm not even sure if this color is going to be in my palette. I'm not going to go through all that effort to just have something that is in the unflattering color palette. So yeah, I am going to sign off here. I hope that you enjoyed this content here, and if you've made it this far, kudos to you. Thank you for sticking around. I super appreciate you sharing your space and time with me. I am truly honored that you are here with me, and together we can go on this crafty adventure. And until next time, keep doing what you love. Bye. If you would like a blank template, DM me over on Instagram at Wandering Stitches and I'll pass it along to you. Emma's mom kindly got some footage of Emma receiving the hat and gave me permission to add it to the podcast. And here she is.
What are those M's and A's for? Oh, it says your name. We're not to school tomorrow. Everyone's like, who did that for you, Emma? That's so cool.
Big thank you to Sarah for joining me in my fiber craft meetup at Poland Provisions, getting footage, including it in her episode on YouTube. I will link her latest episode in the description box below. If you would like to meet up and knit with us at Poland Provisions, the next time we meet will be February 10th. DM me over at Wandering Stitches on Instagram and I'll give you the details. Hope to see you.